Maybe not.
Oh god. Season 2 multiplayer. Oh boy. Okay, we got an audio bug fix. Valentine's Day playlists are returning. In the past, they were not new modes, but they were just funny name changes to the already existing modes. It hurts so good. Singles Appreciation Day. And of course, hot singles in your area. Can I get an AA? But that's that. No Valentine's event. Multiplayer modes come this season too? Not new modes though, I guess. Maybe the third person mosh pit that was supposed to be permanent will make its way back into the game. Maybe we'll see gun game or get infected for the 10th time. Who knows? Not this blog post, I'll tell you that much. And ooh, look at this. We get to vote on Twitter for map playlists in rotation. I hope they're as exciting as last week's, totally not map voting in the most convoluted way possible. It's not like map voting existed in COD before MW2. We got hardcore making a return. Nice, the community was wanting it, so sure, oh, it's replacing tier 1 mode. Okay, it's not like that was something fresh to make this year's COD stand out. It's not like that tier 1 had anything going for it. They couldn't just update the mode to include the kill feed or add back medals. They needed hardcore to do that, of course. Pure genius. It's not like I made a video on how to improve tier 1 or how tier 1 is a better version of hardcore. There's the ranked playlist Treyarch is working on. Good job, fellas. Weapon balancing patch notes will be out in season 2 alongside 5 new guns. I think gun variety is good as is, but if these 5 guns can play their own unique role in multiplayer without putting other guns out of commission, sure, welcome aboard. One thing I am genuinely excited to see is the 5 guns with 4 camos each, for a total of 20 new camos arriving in season 2. Each new gun comes with 4 camos as we saw in season 1, so we'll have a lot of fresh, grindable loot we can put on our guns universally. I actually really like this, but lastly, there's perk rebalancing. Hello, I'm the community manager for Infantry Woods. We've heard the community's feedback about the timing of the perks, especially the ghost perk. So our first thought was to reduce the charge time of the bonus perks by 50% and the ultimates by 25%. We didn't want to swap the position of ghost as it would imbalance the other perks. Oh no. So the only other choice we had was to reconstruct the ghost to only work while tack squinting. That way it isn't too powerful for campers. You gotta be wowed while hitting off the map. Wait, what? I can't say that. Okay. Sorry guys, I meant our only option was to do a similar war effort change we did during the game's beta that literally took us only a day to do back then. Just reduce the charge times. Yeah. Took us another 5 months to do the same thing a second time. The community feedback we were given about these perks between now and then, even the ones that didn't want the system to be scrapped, just a little bit reworked like this Mattsuki guy did. Like, we heard it, but our team's devs didn't want to change it. I hate my job. And that's it, guys. I mean, if you want to count this season 2 release date announcement, they did mention at the very, very bottom that MW2 is getting new multiplayer maps, modes, and weapons, and much more. Sounds good until you look at season 1's roadmap. This season 2 update is actually worded in such a way that could mean we're getting an original map created that only exists in MW2, all the way to a map we've seen 7 or 8 times prior to MW2. Season 1 called Shipment and Shoot House new maps, so when they say we're getting new content for season 2, that could mean quite literally anything from the COD franchise. From hardcore mode to another shipment variant, to even bringing back realism mode from MW19 at this point, the mode that's almost identical to tier 1. Like, we don't know. They've ruined their reputation this much, guys. Which is why I present to you this lovely tweet response I made to clear up confusion going forward. Infinity Ward, Activision. Please use this new vocabulary. Since new maps no longer mean built from the ground up with new layouts and such, I present to you map remakes, map remasters, and original maps. Remakes from now on will be known as maps that change the visual aesthetics as well as the layouts. Shipment and Shoot House do fall under this category in MW2, however, the reason we, the MW2 community, have a problem with these 2 maps in Season 1 is due to their size and how much they changed. Unlike something like Backlot in MW19, these 2 maps took no effort to relearn. Back on MW19, in this remade map Backlot, they removed the entire basement of a building that would have been 3 stories on COD MWR otherwise. Flow in this area is completely different and sped up, but Shoot House in MW2, they removed this tiny little pocket in the wall, and that did not shake up this map at all. Instead of quickly taking a glance at the corner, you can just move forward. Not to mention, these 2 maps were in a constant 24/7 365 playlist, so many people were tired of seeing them. As a general rule of thumb, I recommend never allowing a grind map playlist to exist. In fact, if you're a grinder, seeing a map like Shoot House or Shipment show up in the map rotation, by pure chance, would feel more enticing. Put your mind at ease as everyone else is grinding the same way as you are. No more sifting through that Shoot the Ship playlist for only Shipment. Sorry, FaZe Jev, or maybe you're welcome. Take it as you will. Next, we got remastered maps. Unlike MW2's Shipment and Shoot House, remastered maps do not change the theme nor the layout. They would be maps like Raid and Black Ops Cold War, or quite literally any map from MWR, Modern Warfare Remastered. But Raid Raid. It's originally from Black Ops 2. You can tell by the slightly semi-futuristic design of this luxurious home. But in Cold War, they decided to update the graphics instead of giving it a Cold War makeover. It's one of the lazier ways to bring back old maps to a new COD game. That's why Modern Warfare Remastered has never cost the same as a COD like Infinite Warfare, even virtually as a standalone. That's why Modern Warfare 2022 costs more than the original Modern Warfare 2. It's a remake with its own original content, nothing remastered, as it should be. That is the premium product you are buying. So that's why doing something like this in Black Ops Cold War with Raid is a serious blasphemy. They could have changed it as much as they did back in Black Ops 3. Like, look at Black Ops 3's remake of Raid. It's a similar layout as the OG, but completely different visuals, and now has incorporated 3D movement-friendly spaces. Remasters in new CODs are a no-no. And lastly, we have original maps. This was what a new map used to entail, but now that new just means new to MW2, thanks random Twitter users for justifying this shady move. Bravo, mate. So I'm gonna start using the word original for maps that are exclusive to the game they are in. I hope to the COD gods that no one can misconstrue this too. The best thing Infinity Ward can do at this point is adopt this new language when describing future multiplayer map drops. At this point, saying new maps are coming no longer means jack squat thanks to your guys' poor execution of Season 1's new map drop. Now that that's out of the way, it is time for things I care for and hope make their way into Season 2. Considering the travesty of Season 1's recycled, burnt out multiplayer maps, the lack of a Christmas update that remotely affects this game long term, and of course the time spent listening to the COD community throughout all of Season 1 over the past 2 months, plus an additional 15 days because Season 2 got delayed, here is what I expect to see with all of that in mind. I want a minimum of 3 original maps to release in Season 2. I don't care if a 4th map is a remake, but we desperately need at least 3 new original maps to explore and learn. Season 1 was about anything but relearning. Season 1 was MW19 Grind Part 2, not a fine addition to this sequel. However, to be generous, I would definitely consider Museum as one original map, if there are 2 more with it that are also original. I'm letting Museum slightly off the hook as it is a larger map with lots of detail I'm sure the devs took countless hours to create, but if that recent rumor is true about Vanguard's Castle returning as another recycled DLC map alongside Museum as the only new map, I might be a bit enraged, a tad livid. Technically, we've been waiting since launch at the end of October for some new content. This Season 2 update is mid-February, 3.5 months plus 1 week later. It's getting to be a long time without something brand new to sink our teeth into. There's been 0 original 6v6 maps since launch, and launch only had 10 maps. That's 6 maps shorter than Vanguard had. You know, the COD that kind of went through some development hell. And it's only 1 more map than COD World War II. You know, the COD everyone was burnt out on within the first month. 9 maps and never again. It's also pretty disappointing in comparison to MW19's seasonal content drops. Instead of 10 maps, MW19 pretty much launched with 11. I'd count Shoot House back then just because it came out within a couple weeks after launch, and it was an original map back then too. But Season 1 gave us 3 remade maps. Side note, I will rant about them because it was a pretty dumb decision back then too. Just 3 years prior to MW19, we had just played MWR. Crash, Shipment, and Vacant were all from that game. Shipment was also in World War II 1 year after MWR. Man, why is this so depressing? Okay, here. I'll attempt some justification. MW19 was a reboot of MWR, so it only made sense to reboot some of MWR's fan favorite maps, right? But can I say the same for MW 2022? Well, that game couldn't do that properly. No. They couldn't bring back the fan favorite map from the Modern Warfare trilogy, Terminal, the one that originated from the OG MW2. No! They recycled Shipment and Shoot House. What? Are YouTube bots picking up on the negative connotations around Shipment and Shoot House? It's about time. These maps are becoming the downfall of COD. But hey, back to the seasonal drops. MW19 may have slightly disappointed us with its Season 1, but Seasons 1 through 3 all gave us 3 new maps, some remakes and some originals. Seasons 4 through 7 gave us 2 new maps each. So what does that mean for MW2? Because this COD is apparently lasting 2 years but has the same development cycle as MW19, you could almost expect half this content split for year 1 and another half for year 2. That's 5 remade maps plus 3 to 4 original maps for each year. What makes me worried is, why are they deciding to remake Shipment and Shoot House when we have 16 original MW2 maps waiting for their remakes? That's a lot of maps, and according to MW19, we're only only gonna get a total of 10 remakes in MW2. But MW2 has already wasted 2 of those 10 on maps we just played. So realistically, what do you guys think is gonna happen? Are they gonna cut original maps to make more remakes? Are they gonna just remake a couple maps from the OG MW2, like the few in Warzone such as Afghan, Terminal, Rust, High Rise, Quarry, and Storm? There's also the MW3 map Dome, and the MWR map Showdown, also in El Mazrah. Coincidentally, this equals 8 remakes, which when added to Shipment and Shoot House equals 10. So perhaps we are on track. Perhaps the maps throughout the rest of year 1 will all be original maps. Then year 2 would just have all these remakes. That would be splendid and eliminate Castle from Vanguard returning. If you're like me, I'd love to see the next 7 maps as original maps this year. Of course, this is all speculation, but tell me in the comments what you guys realistically expect versus what you actually want to see. I honestly don't expect events to return as grand as they used to be. If anything, I hope that Season 2 has some gun camos that sort of symbolize Valentine's Day, maybe some sort of tactical heart design. I don't know. I would also like to say that Infinity Ward should definitely make some maps for events while they still have time. I'm not talking about that shipment reskin they did for Christmas in Season 1. I'm talking more about original maps based on events without removing them when the event is over. World War II had a sandbox map for its Days of Summer, and Infinite Warfare had Tourista, a getaway resort for its Days of Summer event. Stuff like this is what stays long term and is deserving of a 24/7 playlist throughout the event. Now that Infinity Ward want to keep their games more realistic, I don't need a sandbox map for Days of Summer or a horror movie map location for the hunting events. We just need something that looks like Beach Bog for Days of Summer or Festive Quarantine for Thanksgiving. No map variants are required, guys. They take way too many resources away from new maps that could be made instead. So in conclusion, I expect to see 3 original maps for Season 2. Museum can count as 1. I do not want to see Vanguard's Castle return in any capacity. Time away from an already experienced map is necessary. As for events, just give us a camo. A unique returning event playlist would be appreciated, but camos last long term, so I'd take a camo any day over a limited time mode. If we had to get an LTM for Valentine's Day, I'd recommend a new innovative Cupid themed Sticks and Stones playlist. In fact, if that came to the game, you could keep it in as a party mode once the event is over and just remove the Cupid themed crossbows and heart-shaped bolts. People love party modes. It's just weird why we haven't seen as many of them in Infinity Ward CODs after Infinite Warfare. I mean, IW had Gesture Warfare, which was a blast on its own, but how hard is it to add Infected at launch every year? Where has Slasher and Prop Hunt been in Infinity Ward? Prop Hunt especially, like, it would be absolutely amazing on Modern Warfare 2022's original maps. Like, these maps are super detailed. Imagine the prop mayhem that could ensue. All this fun is just at the fingertips of Infinity Ward. Even with the perks, no one cares about these timers. People just want to use them off the bat. Just rework the perks. You guys had over 5 months to do this. People told you guys throughout all of December too that this system is a flop. This Infantry Wards guy earlier in the video was onto something. You guys should listen to him. Eliminate the timers. Rebalance the perks into 4 categories like they already are. Just the ultimates are a little bit OP, so split them up or nerf them. That's about it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it's my Vanguard video. And peace out, homies.